Meditation works. All you must do is practice it. In this time of a viral pandemic, it may be useful to develop a meditation practice to help center yourself and explore the calm within. For those who have their own meditation practice, these sessions may help you by adding to your practice. For those who have not yet developed a practice, these focused short meditations may help introduce you to the possibilities that lay within. There are a vast number of disparate meditation techniques. There is no right or wrong technique, only those techniques that work for you and others that don't. Various meditations on the Shema have been developed in my practice, and these are presented on the Beth Israel YouTube channel in separate short sessions. The first words of the Shema encapsulate the essence of Judaism. I have found that focused meditative variations on the Shema have been a useful centering device in my life. There is no precise explanation of their effectiveness. You will have to practice them yourself and determine if they can be useful to you. Once you have reviewed the introductory session, you can attempt any of the various offerings in any sequence you wish. You can build a practice by combining various sessions or just try one at a time. Some methods will fit, others may not. Go ahead and enjoy the journey and discover the meditations on the Shema. Meditations on the Shema. Introduction. Before you begin to watch and listen to the videos contained in Meditations on the Shema, it would be helpful to focus on a few guidelines that will enhance your meditative experience. Pick a time of day. There is no specific time of day that is best for meditation. Find out what works best for you and at this particular time in life and under the existing circumstances. Now, when our children were young, it was impossible to meditate when I arose. The children had immediate demands that had to be met. Now, as an empty nester, I find the time that I wake up ideal for a meditation exercise. Many meditators prefer a time just before going to sleep. Others after work, when they arrive home. Whenever time you choose, and it could be twice a day or once a day, try to stay consistent and regular. 3 times a week is not as effective as daily. Turn your practice into a daily routine. It will gradually become a habit. Find a quiet place. It is not essential to select a place that is totally isolated and soundproof. That is unrealistic for most people. However, finding a space that is sheltered from constant disturbances and affords a high probability that you will not be interrupted over the time you've committed to meditate is helpful. Likewise, turning off all electronic media and informing those with whom you live or near you that at this particular time you would appreciate if everyone respected your privacy. That also would be helpful. If you wish to chant or make sounds during your meditative practice, you may want a space that will assure you no unnecessary inhibitions. Get comfortable. There is no one position for meditation. Often we associate it with a person sitting in a lotus position. Please be aware that the origins of what many consider a meditation practice is rooted in Asia, where most people sit that way regularly and have done so all through their lives. For most other people, sitting in a lotus position for an extended period of time may create unnecessary discomfort and inhibit or disrupt your practice. You may want to just sit in a comfortable chair or on the floor. You may want to lie flat out, either on the floor or in your bed. There is no ideal position. The goal is sustained, relaxed comfort over time. In that vein, you may want to have some extra clothing or coverings, since your body temperature will fall from a lack of motion. If you get so comfortable that you fall asleep, no worry. You are probably very tired. Return to your practice when you awake or later on. Determine a time limit for your meditation. Although there exists many different suggested time limits for meditative practice, there is really no precise time or actually a need for a fixed time for an individual's practice. Some days my practice may be very short, and others it may extend over an hour. A meditative practice is really a moment-to-moment, non-judgmental, focused awareness. How many moments? It depends. If you are just beginning your practice, start small. Start with an easy target, maybe 5 minutes. Over time it may grow, or it may just stay at 5 minutes. There is no judgment here, just a practice. You can experiment with different times and find what works best for you. Please remember, if you enjoy your practice, you will be drawn to it. And if you find it a chore, you will have difficulty maintaining it. To set a time limit, you can use a cell phone or a stopwatch. You can use beats or a count. And if you maintain a set of practices, you will over time be able to measure with surprisingly high degree of accuracy how long you have meditated. This is definitely not a competition. More is not necessarily better. Sometimes all you need is 1 minute of moment-to-moment, non-judgmental awareness. Work with or modify these guided meditations. These meditations on the Shema are designed as a guided meditation. Each session is about 5 minutes long. They are intended to help identify possible ways you could develop a practice using different variations of the 6 words and 17 sounds that comprise the Shema. These variations are only samples, and I invite you to experiment with variations you discover that are not included in these exercises. You will note that I make sounds on inhales and exhales. I do so for demonstration purposes only. You may find a silent inhale and a silent exhale fits you better. You are free to breathe either only through your nose or a combination of nose and mouth. If you already have a practice, you may want to consider incorporating some of these Shema variations into your practice. If you are beginning to develop a practice, any of the Shmas in the 5-minute videos may be sufficient for your meditative diet. Please experiment by combining the various techniques presented in these videotapes. Select that which interests you, what fits you, and what makes you feel successful. If you find the 5 minutes too short, then you can combine various meditations on the Shema to extend the time of your meditation. Some meditators like guided meditations, others don't. It is all up to you. There are no judgments here. Develop a counting system. Sometimes you may find it helpful to count. Some of the variations of the Shema presented in these videos are broken into 6 separate breaths, one for each word. You may use your fingers for the first 5 words of the Shema and the space between your eyes for the 6th word. Recall the directions in the Torah. Uschartem leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha. Deal with the wandering mind. Okay, I've got to get this cleared up now. All minds wander, and all minds make mistakes. That is how they're constructed, and that is how they function normally. No mind, even that of the most devoted meditator, will be free of wanderlust. The art in meditation, in order to get to a moment-to-moment, uninterrupted, focused attention, is learning how to deal with this tilt towards random wandering. In a meditation exercise, once you are aware that your mind is wandering, identify it without judgment. What is happening? Label it. Is the mind making to-do lists? Is it planning? Is it worrying? Is it people-focused? Or is it just asking, what are you doing at this moment in time? Once identified, gently, ever so gently, bring your mind back to the meditation that you are focused on and continue where you left off. If you've forgotten where you were, then go back to where a reasonable point to regain the rhythm of your practice. In a guided meditation, all you have to do is pick up where the voice or sounds are now. Remember, be kind to yourself and have no judgment. Just keep returning to your practice. If you make a mistake and bungle some part of your meditation, just let it go. All minds make mistakes. You will discover in the guided meditations that follow that I made some small mistakes. I have forgotten it, and I hope you will too. Develop a method for entering your meditative practice. The guided meditations that follow all begin with the assumption that you have spent a few moments getting into your practice before pushing the start button and hearing the gong. Begin with a breathing sequence that has you focusing both on the inhales and exhales. With each breath, you slow your rhythm down until you reach a relaxed, regular sequence of inhale and exhale, extending your exhale comfortably until you take the next inhale. You may focus on filling your lungs. You may focus on the tip of your nose, or feel the coolness of the inhale and the warmth of the exhale. You can focus on your lungs filling. You may focus on your abdomen or on your whole body, rising and falling. Gradually, you will close your eyes or gaze softly at nothing in particular. Notice the sounds around you and gradually bring your focus to your breath and away from these sounds. Now, begin your chosen session by pushing on the start button. You will be prompted by a gong. Develop a routine for exiting your meditative practice. You will find that all sessions will end with a gong at around 5 minutes. You may continue your meditation beyond the final gong, ending your personal session when you are ready. To exit, just relax your mind And after a few regular breaths, begin to expand your focus from your breath to the space around you, absorbing the sounds and the sensations as you expand your focused awareness. After a few more breaths, slowly open your eyes and become aware of how you feel and how this feeling is different from that which you felt when you began your meditation. You are now ready to return to the other levels of conscious thought, focus, and awareness. Keep exploring, practicing, and enjoying your meditation. No matter what meditative practice you adopt, please remember that the exploration of many different techniques may be included in your practice. In the 50 years since I was first introduced to meditation, my practice has changed slowly, and it is forever evolving. I only began meditations on the Shema 5 years ago. No matter what techniques you adopt, please keep your practice regular. Try once or twice a day. Explore short 1-minute sessions. No matter what you do, no matter how you practice, enjoy these moments of focus, non-judgmental awareness.